Iron Man. We all know that Iron Man was a genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. But at the heart of who he was a mechanical engineer who knew how to manufacture the products that he was making. And if he didn't, he would find a way how to do it. So when I first got into MMET, or manufacturing mechanical engineering technologies, I thought it wasn't necessarily as good as mechanical because I want to go more into the design part of it, and I thought that the manufacturing major was more for people who wanted to go into the manufacturing techniques or manage the manufacturing slash assembly process. And I couldn't have been further from the truth. So, a couple things about the manufacturing is that they are a multidisciplinary engineer, which is a very, very, very broad spectrum of engineers. There's the manufacturing in it. You can also get sales engineers into it, and there's a load more as well. So, multidisciplinary engineers, what they do, they are essentially like back in the day, they are people who had both a major and a minor in engineering in two separate fields. So like there is an actual multidisciplinary major here at A&M. It's under the Distribution Department, and the multidisciplinary major is literally a a mechanical engineering degree with a minor in electrical. And there's a couple others as well, including mine, which is MMET. So, a multidisciplinary engineer, as the broad term of it, is sort of like instead of being a master of one field, it's like the jack of all trades, because they know multiple aspects about different fields that can be very useful. And to a company, this looks really, really good because they can have one person for two jobs. And so, for example, with manufacturing engineer, you can have one person who is on the design team, but then also knows how to manufacture it, so or design it for manufacture. So, a manufacturing engineer can do anything that a mechanical engineer does. They can also go into the manufacturing techniques and process, or if they really want to, they can also go into the management of manufacturing slash assembly and that sort of thing. The other thing that manufacturing engineers can actually do is they can go into work in the trade field. So, like a mechanic, a welder, etc. And they are actually in very much shortage of workers right now because not a lot of people go to trade schools anymore. But the good thing about MMET is they teach us how to do those things. So if we really wanted to, we could go and work as a trade worker. And then on another side, there's the sales engineer. So a salesperson, we all know who this is. It's a regular person who goes door to door selling products or sometimes going to companies. So, for example, a downhole pump. For those of you who don't know what a downhole pump is, it is the thing that oil companies do, and they drill down like about a mile or so deep, if not more, and extract oil from the earth down below. And so, a salesperson who's trying to sell a downhole pump to a oil company wouldn't necessarily know what's good about a certain downhole pump or certain product for the downhole pump assembly, but an actual engineer who is also a salesperson would know, and that is where the benefit of this comes in. A sales engineer is someone who knows both the design part of it because they worked on it and also and they can also sell it. So they know because they know the ins and outs of it, they know how to improve it, or they know what they need to do to improve it based off what the customer says. And also they know like how much it costs, and if it fails, they can be like, oh yeah, that was the rotor that failed, or it's leaking because the seal failed. So there are multiple benefits to being a multidisciplinary engineer, or a manufacturing engineer, or a sales, which all fall under the broad category of the multidisciplinary engineer. So I at first thought that MMET wasn't necessarily a good major, but as I went along in it, I learned that I was actually probably the perfect fit for me, because then that way I can do what I want with design, but I also learn about the manufacturing process, which is really hands-on and things like that. And then lastly, I think that we can all say that Iron Man was truly an MMET major. And because he knows the mechanical side of it, but he also knows how to manufacture the products that he has made. Thank you very much.